I would really guard against people submitting to agents to test the water. You need to be certain that you've done as much as you can do and polished your submission to within an inch of its life before you send it out. And that path was a very wiggly path. I had some cul-de-sacs and some dead ends and some backwards and forwards, and there's a lot of waiting and there's an awful lot of rejection. You know, I started this whole thing thinking I was going to be this role model to my children, become an author at the age of whatever I was at the time, a while ago now. And instead, I was a role model for picking myself up off the floor and dusting myself off and phoning Sarah and saying, no, you know, the answer's no. And some of it was that I hadn't submitted it to the right person. But sometimes I got feedback that made me think, okay, maybe I wasn't quite ready and needed to go back to the drawing board. And then Sarah and I would carry on working for a bit with new information about the book. You and I spent a lot of time talking about where the book fitted into the market. Yeah. And you have to have a clear idea in your own head of what you're trying to sell, because you've then got to sell it in your submission letter. So I think in the very first conversation with Charlotte, I spoke to her about how she would submit it, how she would frame it, and the kinds of publishers that she would submit it to. And I think what was so lovely when I met her was that she'd already thought about all of that. I think that a good agent response is, I really love this book and I can see how I can sell it straight away. I trusted Charlotte's advice and she gave me very firm, very clear advice. I had interest from other publishers, but Macmillan came in with a preempt quite quickly. We had a very, very nice meeting and I liked the editor there enormously. She got the book in its entirety, all the different aspects of it, she seemed to understand. So we felt very aligned. And I had always been told, don't preempt terrible things, don't take preempts. And Charlotte said to me, you've struck gold here. You're not going to find another editor who sees your novel as clearly as the Mac team do. The whole team is behind it. And Charlotte said to me, go for it. This is fantastic. It's a good offer. Don't hesitate. And I'm so glad I didn't.
I cried.
You did. We both cried.
We did. Yeah, cried. It was the best thing. I think it was the same as getting my own book published, but better.
It was very exciting.